Hello my internet friends, this is John Gibson. Today this video describes the formula syntax and usage of the accrued interest to maturity function in Microsoft Excel. This function returns the accrued interest for a security that pays interest at maturity. The syntax for this function is ACCRINTM. The arguments for this function are issue, settlement, rate, par, and basis. Now let's break down the arguments in further detail. Issue, the security issue date, is required. It is a data type of date, it has no default, and it must be less than settlement. Settlement, this is the security mature date. It is also required. It must be a date, has no default, and the value must be greater than issue date. Rate, or the annual coupon rate, is required. It must be numeric, and there is no default. The rule is that it must be greater than 0. Par, or the security face value, is a required field. It must be numeric and greater than 0. If a value is not put in this argument, it will default to 1000. Basis, this is the type of date count to use. I will leave a link in the description below that goes into greater detail. This field is not required and will default to 0. The values must be either 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now let's show an example of using the accrued interest formula. The data we will be using in this formula is as follows. Issue date for issue, maturity date for settlement, percent coupon for rate, par value, and basis. Click on the field you want to have the final value. Next, click on the Insert Function button, which brings up the Insert Function dialog box. In the Search for Function box, type in accrued interest and click on Go. The return results are for accrued interest for periodic payments and accrued interest for maturity. If you're unsure which function you need, click on each function and a description will appear below the Select a Function box. ACCRINTM is the function we wish to use in this example, so select and click on Go. The function's argument dialog box now appears. As you can see, each required argument for this function is bold. Anything that is not bold is optional. 3 ways to enter data into the arguments box are 1. Type in static values, 2. Manually type in the reference cell, and 3. Click on the reference cell. We will be using option 3. Select each argument text box and click on the reference cell you wish to use. Issue, I will select C3 for the issue date. Settlement, I will select C4 for the maturity date. Rate, I will select C5 for the percent coupon. Par, I will select C6 for the par value. If you choose to leave this value blank, it will default to 1000. Basis, I will select C7. Again, this is an optional field and will default to 0 if left blank. Now that we have all of our arguments in place, you can see we have a value of 58.33. Click on OK and you will see the cell we selected now has the final value. Click on the cell we just added our formula and you will see in the formula bar the formula we just created. Click on the formula bar and each argument is now color-coded to its corresponding reference cell. Some rules that need to be followed are: issue date must be less than settlement date. As you can see, if I change the issue date to 8/30/2023, I will get an error in my final value cell. For dates, Microsoft stores dates as sequential serial numbers so they can be used in calculations. By default, January 1st, 1900 is serial number 1, and June 1st, 2022 is serial number 44713. Because it is 44,713 days after January 1st, 1990. In this example, if you click on the date in C3 and look at the data type, you will see that it is date. If I change this to general, you will see that the value is now 44713. It is good practice to format your cells to date when you are using a date value. If you are going to use a static date value in one of your arguments, and since not too many people can calculate that date from January 1st, 1900, dates should be entered by using the date function. For example, use date 2022 06/01 for the first date of June 2022. Problems can occur, as you can see, if dates are entered as text. The third rule is rate must be greater than 0. Adding a 0 will result in an error. Par, if a cell was not selected in the argument, the default will be 1000. But if you do select a cell as a reference and the value is 0 or less, then an error will happen. And basis, if the value is anything other than 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you will also get an error. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Comment below if you would like to see examples on a specific topic. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.